My book is not about a diet or a fitness regime or one little aspect of health. It actually tries to capture and understand the intelligence that encapsulates all of health. And if we can tap into that intelligence, we can begin to create ourselves in a healthy way from the inside out. And that will gravitate to all spheres of our lives. Our bodies, our minds, our relationships, our social structures, and it kind of ripples out into the world. But I guess the take-home message is that it's a natural thing, it already exists in you. And that's important to realize. It's not something you have to strive for. It's something that once you see, then it just starts to manifest. Health is an innate intelligence that exists within living things, within us. All cells are programmed to naturally be healthy because that's how life operates. Once you can see that reality, then it will spontaneously evolve in your life. I'm an emergency doctor. Several years ago, after a powerful life experience, I lost my psycho-emotional health, and suddenly everything in my life started to fall apart. And then I started to focus on what is health and how we can create it in our lives, to keep it in our lives before we get unwell. I had some experiences of vitality, which is what I term the intelligence or the energy of health. And so I could have married that experience with the logic and the reason and the knowledge that I had as a medical doctor, and that led me to completely change my life into a different direction. And I started to rebuild my life along that healthy pathway, and that enabled me to create a whole different life, a very healthy life and a happy life, which has been very rewarding. And I want to share that with the world because as a doctor I see so much suffering and so much illness out there, and I see that a lot of it's unnecessary. And that was the spark that motivated me to write Your Health Creation. It talks to the level of causation. If you can embody the cause, which is the intelligence of health itself, then you can apply it to all parts of your life. If we can shift our attention from fixing problems to creating health, then that's where the kind of magic happens, where you can start to maintain and maximize our chance of keeping health in our reality. Now, I'm not saying that fixing problems is not useful. It is. It's very useful. I'm an emergency doctor. That's what I do all day. There's always going to be problems. But in order to decrease problems in our society, we've got to start to focus on ways to create ourselves in ways where problems don't exist, which is what health is. I've just never seen that out there. I think that's quite a unique idea and concept. That's what I want to share. And I know that it will be meaningful and helpful for people. What I discovered 6 years ago when I had my epiphany was that this is my meaning. Now, for a long time, I thought it was about helping people, about fixing illness and disease. But what I realized, it's really about teaching people how to create themselves in a healthy way. It was actually the opposite to what I was doing. And I put it together so that you can actually understand how health operates in living things in a logical way. First, it tells you what health is. Every cell that's healthy in your body has a balancing point. It tries to serve itself to get its own oxygen and nutrients, but it tries to serve other cells in the body and the whole body as a whole. And that's what creates the harmony. And when those three keys of health are combined, the meaning, the balance, and the harmony, you get a healthy body. That's how it works. Your body has to be organized in an intelligent way for it to be healthy. Then there's a phenomenon where cells begin to lose the intelligence of health. And that's how illness manifests. A large portion of serious illnesses like type 2 diabetes, like stroke, like heart disease and cancer, all the big diseases, are related to the intelligence we're choosing to express in our lives. Same thing happens with your mind. If psychologically, psycho-emotionally, you begin to lose the intelligence of health, you begin to manifest psychological diseases like anxiety, depression, mania. And if we can change that to a healthy intelligence, then we can actually stay healthy and not manifest these diseases in our lives. Now, I'm not saying that you can control everything. There's always going to be elements like genetic inheritance that are very hard to augment. But health is interestingly not just the science. That's only half the story. Health is also an art. And it's how art and science marry together. That's what kind of creates health. So if you look at a living organism, sure, you can dissect it in a scientific way, which Western medicine does. But actually, the way it creates itself is very artistic. And then we talk about perceptual reality, which is what is this reality that humans naturally do that actually destroys their health? That's not synonymous with how living things work. And then once you understand that, I go through the 12 principles of health, the principles that health is founded on, so you can learn them and basically build a new model of reality for yourself that you can apply in the world so that you can start to create yourself in a healthy way. And then I finish by describing vitality, which is this energy field that encompasses all the 12 principles of health. It's a peaceful state, it's a meaningful state, it's a balanced state, and it's a very creative state. And so when you step into vitality, you start to feel that flow, I guess, the flow of intelligence as it moves through you. It's a natural process, it's happening all the time. The body's always moving, always creating itself, always evolving in a healthy way. And you just become aware of that. And then things happen in your social, physical life as well, because you begin to attract to you pieces, people, and scenarios in the social realm that are synonymous with health. And there is a connection, just like there's a connection of all the cells in your body to create a whole, there is actually a social connection that happens, an energy that happens. And if you step into that energy of health, then the pieces, the physical pieces, begin to organize themselves in a healthy way, and then your life begins to change. It's actually important to read cover to cover because it builds on itself. What I want to do is empower people to actually have that choice so that they understand what health is so that they can choose it. And so that's the value. That's why I want to share it, because it's so valuable, It's the platform on which our lives stand. Your Health Creation comes in a hardcover, a softcover, and a Kindle version. It can be bought online on Amazon, or you can go to my website, www.yourhealthcreation.com. I've also got a Facebook page that has more information about these ideas, so you can visit my Facebook page as well. If you do read the book, I always love comments, ideas, what people discovered, what they found. That would be really useful. Thank you.